Hi, I'm Weiser Cornell, and this is Support for Stressful Times. We do these half-hour webinars once a month. We started doing them in March of 2020. The times have changed since then, but they haven't necessarily gotten less stressful. In fact, it feels like the last 10 days have been a big increase in the amount of stress that I'm feeling, and I think a lot of other people too. So oh, what a good idea to have a webinar together and spend some time doing some practices that can help us be more calm, more balanced, and kind and gentle to ourselves. And so glad you're all here with us. Wonderful. And our special topic for today is overwhelming emotions. And I want to say, and I always say this, emotions are our friends. There isn't anything bad about having emotions. On the contrary, when you are aware of your emotions, when you can feel what you feel, you're more connected to life. You're more connected to yourself. You're more connected to other people. You're more connected to what matters to you. And one of the things about being human and being a living creature, not just humanity, but everything alive, has a sense of what matters, what we care about, what we want to move toward. And we have emotions that point to that, emotions of love, of being touched, of being moved, of being drawn to something, of being eager, of being excited. Well, we also have the opposite kind of emotion, the one that tells us that we need to move away from something, like fear, like anxiety, like worry, like dislike. It's not for me, you know. Jumping out of airplanes, hope you enjoy it, not for me. So emotions, yes. And overwhelming emotions, that phrase refers to the times when it feels like whatever emotion we're feeling is too much and is not giving us a gift, but instead knocking us over, making it harder to live our lives. Let's see what we can do when we feel overwhelming emotions. See a few more of the people who are here. Nice to see Bernice and Barb and Inga, and Catherine is here. Wonderful. Margot is here. Glad to see you. Sharon is here. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, take a moment with me right now and let awareness come to your body. The body is always available to let us know how we feel right now. You know, I hesitated a moment ago when I wanted to talk about anxiety. Anxiety is a funny emotion because, in a way, yes, we feel anxiety right now. But notice how anxiety and fear are different. Fear typically tells you that something going on right now might be dangerous and you need to be careful, get to safety, protect yourself. Anxiety typically tells us, even if we're okay right now, something's coming in the future that could hurt us. It's interesting. By the way, anxiety is one of my overwhelming emotions. It can get overwhelming, keep me up at night, wake me up too early in the morning. So let's start with the body and inviting you to come along with me to just be aware of your body right now. Perhaps even first, just being aware of the outer area of your body, your arms and hands, your legs and feet, the contact of your body on what you're sitting on, feeling Just that sensation of resting on support. And maybe a breath comes. I didn't deliberately take a breath at that moment. I sort of had a breath come. Be aware of your breathing as well. I also noticed my posture was changing as I became aware of my breathing. So, noticing, bringing awareness to what we are right now. You might be feeling something like pain or discomfort in your body right now. You might be feeling in your body right now some kind of stress, something uncomfortable. And you might also be feeling something in you not wanting to feel that way, not enjoying feelings of pain, discomfort, or distress. And what we want to do right now as a practice is simply acknowledge. Okay, so we're going to see if it's okay to acknowledge any stressful feelings in the body. If there are any, maybe physical pain, maybe emotional distress, maybe an uneasiness, a sense of discomfort, or something stronger, anxiety, anger. And yet, no matter what is here, you can still say hello to that. Hello, I know you're there. Just giving you a moment to try that. Hello, I know you're there. Hello, pain, I know you're there. Hello, anxiety, I know you're there. How does that feel? And when you do that, do you also notice something in you that doesn't want to say hello to that? I don't want to say hello to that. I don't like it. Okay, that's all right. And it's good to notice. And I would invite you to use this language. Something in me doesn't like that. Something in me doesn't want to say hello to that. And now you have the uncomfortable feeling itself. Maybe you've been able to say hello to that. And you have something that doesn't like it. Maybe you've been able to say hello to that. Notice what kind of difference that makes. Last night, I was feeling some anxiety, maybe a little more than some. And I could feel it in my stomach. Very uncomfortable, unpleasant feeling in the stomach. I thought, well, I could say hello to that. That's what I teach other people. And then there was a feeling of, I just want to watch TV. So both were there. And I did say hello to both the uncomfortable anxiety feeling and the I just want to watch TV. And I felt something change when I could do that. I hope you're trying it yourself right now. Something begins to change sometimes. Sometimes nothing changes. Sometimes, yeah, it didn't help. But you know what I'd recommend if it doesn't help? Do it again. Because what's happening is as you say, hello, I know you're there, to any feeling in you, any discomfort, painful feeling, stressful feeling, as you say, hello, I know you're there, you're coming into contact with, I would say it, you are becoming. the bigger you. We call it self in presence, but that's not necessary to know that phrase. The bigger you, that in you that has the ability to turn toward any feeling, any place inside you, any place that's hard, difficult, painful. We we activate the ability to be bigger than our emotional states by relationship, inner relationship. Did you try this yourself? Tell me in the chat what you're noticing. What are your most challenging emotions these days or today? What's going on? And does it make a difference when you feel it in your body and then you say to the feeling, hello, I know you're there. And if it's hard to say hello, then you say hello to something that finds it hard to say hello. And then what happens? I'm curious. What happened for me last night, I take some deeper breaths. I feel bigger inside myself. I feel like I'm inhabiting more of myself. I feel I can be kinder to myself. You know, when I was simply anxious, I'm anxious. The words are, I'm anxious. So I and anxious are the same thing. I, anxious, I'm anxious. When I'm anxious, when I say the words, I'm anxious, I'm as small as my anxiety. Yeah, I know the feeling is big, but it's still not as big as you are. That's kind of what we mean. One thing we mean by overwhelming emotion is when it feels like the feeling is bigger than we are. Is that kind of what it's like for you? So I'm not smaller than my feeling in truth, but it feels like I am at that moment. There are many methods of dealing with feelings. Many of us may have learned them in our childhoods that try to make the feelings go away, make them smaller, dismiss them. We try to talk ourselves out of them. How successful is that, right? So, what I'm proposing here, what I teach, is a way of being with feelings that doesn't try to change the feelings. They can be the way they are. I'm not making them smaller, not pushing them away, not dismissing them, not arguing with them. Isn't that nice? The feelings can be the way they are, and I become aware that I am bigger. I was always bigger, but I become aware that I am bigger. Some people are writing in the chat. Let's see what's up here. Lily writes, I had overwhelming emotions this morning when a customer service representative told me getting upset won't help. Oh, gosh. But I was already upset. So his words weren't helpful at all. I can just imagine. Lily writes, I needed him to hear me and understand me and care about my concerns. And this getting upset won't help, or don't be upset, or you don't have to be upset. Seems like that's kind of the thing I mean when I say we may have learned these emotion dismissing methods in our childhoods. How many of us heard those things growing up and then learned to say them to ourselves? There's no point in getting angry and so on. No, getting upset won't help. It's not very pleasant to hear that from someone outside you, but at least, Lily, you were aware that there wasn't anything wrong with you. There was something you needed from this other person, which was understanding and caring about your concerns. Andrea writes, this focus on anxiety and checking in with our various parts' reactions to it, it does help. Sometimes I'll ask the parts when one doesn't want to check in on the anxiety if it would help to check in a bit later. Nice, Andrea. Yeah, maybe now is not the right time. And this way, there's more choice. How about later? Maybe I can check back later. Yeah. And I mentioned anxiety because that's a big one for me. And thanks to Hans Jörg for writing in the chat. When I say hello to what I'm feeling, the relationship becomes more loving with no more fighting. And it's the inner relationship we're talking about. It's a big deal to realize we have a relationship with ourselves. More and more people these days are talking about self-compassion. I'm a big fan of self-compassion, self-love, self-empathy. All day long, you can be gentle to yourself. Treat yourself like a friend. And when it comes to emotions, well, the truth is your emotions are your friends too. They're not trying to hurt you, that's for sure. Andrea's adding to what she wrote in the chat that it's hard when I feel so overwhelmed that something in me freezes. Any tips for dealing with the freezing? Well, that's a very good point to bring up today when our topic is overwhelming emotions. Freezing is something your body does because it's wise. It's a way of handling. This is just too much for me. So first of all, let's just say thank you to whatever it is in you that's putting on the freeze. And notice that freezing is happening. So probably the noticing has to come first. Oh, I just noticed I'm completely freezing here. Okay. I'm holding that in an atmosphere of compassion and trust, because if I blame myself for freezing, I'm adding another burden to this process. Somehow, this freezing has been done by a part of me to protect me. Thank you. Now, that much is already a step toward being present, more present with yourself. You can feel what freezing feels like in the body, and you can get curious. What is it that got so much at this moment that it felt freezing was necessary? And it can stay frozen. We're just curious. We're just sensing. Barb writes, there's lots of sighs coming. Saying hello to various anxieties that are going on in life right now. New twin grandchildren, Barb, I understand, right? And also how many friends are dying. And Barb is noticing that as she acknowledges the different things that are bringing anxiety, it's a big list, but it's a finite list. That's lovely. It's one of the things that can happen. See, when I'm my big self in presence, I can turn toward what I feel with gentleness and compassion. I can say, hello, I know you're there. And then that gives me the capacity to sense and what's in this. Before, I might have just felt anxiety with no source, overwhelming, it's too much, freezing with no idea why. That's hard. And it also makes one feel like, let's stay away from that because it's not going to get me anywhere. I don't even know what it's about. But if you say hello, and that's all you need to do, you don't need to say, why are you there? Say hello. and stay there like you'd sit with a friend, and you will get to know more. It will come to you without trying. Yes. May writes, a part in pain is something in me that doesn't want to look inside myself. It doesn't want to be aware. It's afraid of the change that might come after that. That's quite self aware of you to know that. You've already sensed what that part that doesn't want to be aware doesn't want, what it's afraid of. Beautiful. Well done. You know, what I like to show you in these webinars is a gentle process of being present with yourself. Some part of you might think, well, my problems are big, my feelings are hard, I have a lot of stress in my life. Is that enough? Gentle process of being present to myself? Don't I need something stronger? I'll give it a try. Because actually, being present to yourself with this quality of gentleness and acceptance is what makes the difference. And after that, you may get other understandings. Like, I'm so anxious. Oh, it's actually about money. Oh, maybe I need to talk to my financial advisor. Ah, okay. There's an action I could take that this part would be happy if I would take. So there is more we can do than just be present and listen to ourselves. But being present and listening to ourselves is the first step. Plus, this what I'm showing you is like first aid for stressful feelings. In the moment you're feeling them, this is something you can do. So if you're feeling stressful feelings right now, let's try it right now. And it means coming into the body, noticing how you feel. If you feel great, enjoy it. I'm feeling pretty good right now. It's lovely to be here talking to you. I'm enjoying that feeling. It's like a warm feeling in my heart. But often there's something else there. Something gripping or tight, shaking, hard, heavy. And then I don't like that. I don't want that. And what if you just say, I notice, I'm aware, I'm sensing. And then say hello. And I'm saying hello to what I'm sensing. And I'm saying, if necessary, I'm saying hello to something in me that doesn't want to feel that. What I feel when I do that is a quality of becoming bigger. And before I was the feeling, now I'm the space in which the feeling can be. And one of the qualities of this is a quality of acceptance. And it's also a quality of trust. But it's okay if you don't accept your feelings yet and if you don't trust them yet. Trust is built, acceptance occurs. All you need to do is pause, notice, and say hello. What else? Do you have a question? Let's see. Natalie wrote, I often notice something in me is so afraid to drown in all those feelings, to disappear inside. Very good. Well noticed, Natalie. I am noticing something in me afraid I'll drown in all those feelings. I'm saying hello to the one afraid of the feelings. And I can say hello to the feelings. Maybe they're a little farther away. I'm here with both, here with the one that's afraid and also aware of the feelings that this one is afraid of. I'm glad I have two hands, but if I didn't, I'd figure out other way to do this because often I have two feelings. Here is something, and it's about another feeling I have that is there. Like if I say, it's really scary, then there's something here that's scared, and there's something over there it's scared of. Or maybe it isn't over there. Maybe it's down here or all my body. But let's notice that. Whatever it is, we notice. Pause, feel your body. Let's do it together right now again. Pause, feel your body. You know, the news these days on the TV and in the newspaper, pretty hard for me to be in touch with. I haven't stopped paying attention to the news, but I do keep company with myself while I watch or read. I need this with me all day long. The awareness of how I am. I need it especially when I'm falling asleep at night and I'm needing to be calm. I want to be calm, want to go to sleep. I put a gentle hand on the place in my body where I feel something, not to try to make it go away, but so that it has company. And that's what we're giving ourselves. We're giving ourselves gentle company. So my big takeaway for you today is please be gentle to yourself. Please spend your time with your awareness with yourself with gentleness. And if you find yourself being mad at yourself or criticizing yourself, that's something that you can say hello to. You deserve gentleness. You deserve kindness. There isn't anything about you that's fundamentally wrong or bad. So be gentle with yourself. Yes, emotions are our friends. Your emotions make sense. Sometimes they're stronger than they need to be, but that's often because they haven't been listened to. Do you know how, if you're not being listened to, you tend to get louder and louder? So emotions that are really strong might feel they need to be strong in order to get attention. So you can say to the strong emotion, hello, I know you're there, and I sense how strong you are. And often you feel this inner relaxing when you do that. Oh, somebody noticed. Yes, I am strong. Yes, I feel strongly about this. You can also say to your strong emotions, I really know that something here is very important to you. And again, a little relaxing because whatever that is in you starts to feel heard, heard. You know, everything inside us is longing to be heard, just like we are. When we come to the end of our time, it's been lovely to be with you today. Be gentle with yourself. Everything inside you is on your side. Take care. Bye bye.